Hop in the range, take off into space.
Hey guys, it's cbgray coming to you guys live with another Destiny video. How are you guys doing today? So I hope you guys are doing well today. I didn't expect to be coming to you with a second video, so I apologize for the double notification. So if you got that and you hate me, I apologize. But we got something we got to talk about. It's about the pinnacle weapons. It's about the 180s. If you guys have watched enough of my streams, you know that I'm not the most fond of the Luna's Howl and Not Forgotten, but I do have it, and I do enjoy using it when I occasionally throw it on. So I kind of have a bipartisan opinion of this weapon and the pinnacle weapons in general. So something kind of really big shook up the Destiny community a little bit ago, and I want to make a quick video on it and not waste too much of your time. So let's get right into it. So basically what happened was these weapons received a nerf, and we're going to read it real quick in depth and then kind of break it down a bit, and ultimately we're going to hopefully have a conversation in the comments and kind of debate about both sides of the spectrum, why we agree with it, why we disagree with it, and what ways it'll improve the Crucible and what ways it'll kind of not make the Crucible better. And then lastly, how are players going to feel about ultimately their time being kind of wasted? So that's what we're all going to balance right now. So let's just get right into it. So I'm going to scroll a bit, and it says, at the release of Destiny 2 Forsaken, 2 pinnacle weapons became available for players to earn in the competitive playlist in the Crucible. Each weapon has a unique quest requiring mastery of hand cannons to complete. There has been a lot of feedback on how the pinnacle Crucible hand cannons stand above most other weapons in the sandbox. Today we'll be going through some balance changes planned for Season of the Opulence. If you guys don't know, that's in June. And it says we wanted to start this conversation early to ensure players understood the changes that are coming. I do at least appreciate that too, guys, just for the fact that if they would have thrown it right in our faces in June, I think a lot of people really would have been pissed. So let's keep going. But I think this at least is good. They're telling us early. Even if they were still on the path to acquiring these rewards. Here's the Destiny dev teams to walk us through the planned changes. So the devs team said, we wanted to give you a preview of some plans we have to balance the Luna's Howl and Not Forgotten in Season of the Opulence. After significant amounts of feedback, internal discussion, and playtesting, we've decided to adjust how these hand cannons work. For some players, these weapons can represent a significant investment of time and the personal improvement needed to acquire them. When tuning, we attempt to take into account the time committed players make to acquire weapons and make balance that against how those weapons affect the different game modes. And so it says, Magnificent Howl, the unique perk on these weapons, is too effective. It works in a neutral setting and rewards players for getting precision shots, something they would have done naturally. As a result, the time to kill of the game shifts to meet this new benchmark, and players feel that the majority of primary weapons in Destiny 2 can't compete with the pinnacle weapons. Our current plan is to make Luna's Howl and Not Forgotten the only 150 RPM precision hand cannons. So let's stop real quick. Those weapons right now are 180s. They're going to be changed to precision 150 RPMs, the only ones in the game. And it's that they will maintain some aspects of their current behavior while taking on the firing speed and the damage of 150 RPM hand cannons, essentially meaning slower. Magnificent Howl will also be adjusted so that it increases only body shot damage. So that also is important to break down. That means a headshot isn't going to take the same Magnificent Howl damage it's taking right now in today's Crucible. It's not going to give you that extra buff, which means it only procs on body damage. And so it says resulting in a 2 headshot, 1 body shot kill. Magnificent Howl will give an advantage due to requiring less precision hits for optimal time to kill. So essentially what this is sounding like is it's going to seem more like a traditional Destiny 1 hand cannon. It is really what it's just sounding to me, a 3-tap, 2-head, 1-body hand cannon. And so I don't know how people are going to feel about this. Now, personally, I enjoyed those hand cannons of old, and that's why even though I have a Luna's Howl, I always have a Duke on. And you guys know me if you've watched my streams. Mr. Duke, that's what I use. I don't really use Luna, but I do understand why it's so good and why it's so effective and why it doesn't leave a lot of people's inventory. And so let's read this last sentence, or this last little stanza. It says, like we do whenever Destiny gameplay evolves, we'll be watching the conversation starting today on our planned changes. We'll continue collecting feedback once these changes go live at the beginning of Season of Opulence. If you have feedback now, please make sure to sound off in the Destiny 2 forum right here on Bungie.net. So if you guys have feedback, make sure you head there. And also if you want to talk about it in the comments, like I said, let's make sure we're also debating and forming a legitimate opinion in the comments as well before we freak out. So let's break down what was just said. So the biggest things to note: A, these hand cannons now are not 180s, they're 150s. They shoot slower. B, Magnificent Howl doesn't proc on, or does not that it doesn't proc, but when it's activated, it's not gonna give you that plus damage on precision shots. It's only gonna give it on body shots. So 2 headshot, 1 body shot, kill. That sounds very familiar in terms of the way Destiny 1 used to be. It's a 150 if you guys aren't familiar with some other 150s. Midnight Coup is going to be one that you guys probably are familiar with. Another one, Spare Rations. That's one that's kind of came into power here in this past DLC. So those are the type of hand cannons that it's going to be in the family of now, only it's a precision 150. So we're really going to have to see if it's still viable. That's going to be one of the biggest things. And then the other biggest thing is going to be, are players going to feel like their investment was thrown in the trash can? And that's something you guys can ask yourself now. Like me personally, I'm just like kind of mad about it. But there's a lot of people that love these weapons, and especially the ones that have Not Forgotten. See, I don't have Not Forgotten, but that was because I don't like 180s that much. Not enough to, I got too much other stuff going on in life to really throw myself in that investment. But for the people that did take time away from work, family, friends, social life, whatever you may have taken time out of to get your Not Forgotten, or maybe even money if it was a recov, whatever it was, how do you guys feel about the weapons potentially not being as good as they once were? And that's one of those things that we're only going to be able to know once it's June and once we see if the weapons are still pinnacle weapons. And so this is kind of a little bit informal, but there was a tweet that came out too kind of after I started this video. So I do want to go to it real quick. It was from DMG. So let's see if we can pull it up super quickly. And here it is right here. So he has a few things just to clarify, because I do want to make sure that we're getting the most recent information on this video before I go head out and watch the Avengers movie, as hopefully you guys are too. All right, so it says, so to reply to what was just said, Luna's Howl and Not Forgotten changes for Season of Opulence. The team has been hard at work on these changes, ensuring the weapons are still viable and heavy hitters in the sandbox. Coming from playtests, they still feel to be the pinnacle legendary hand cannons of D2. So it's just coming from playtest. And so this is one thing that we just need to break down for a quick second, because I feel like A, Destiny or Bungie doesn't have playtesters, or B, they're terrible. Because if the playtesters playtested the Crucible when they added the tonics in the Reverie, they would have realized that they broke the Crucible. If they would have tested the tonics in the Verdant Forest, they would have realized after a certain point you're just gonna get error coded. They would have realized when you're building up your orbs that you're gonna get guitared. And so these are things, and not only just in here, but just in a lot of different places, Bungie has been known not really to be the best at playtesting things. Things seem to break super quickly. I mean, even take the enhancement core glitch. How did they not know that was going to happen at the beginning of Arc Week? That should have been something they tested at the beginning, because they should have been able to go right to the Drifter or right to any of the people that are Pinnacle vendors and seen that enhancement cores could be farmed by the Pinnacle weapons that were available over and over again. So putting it into the faith of their playtesters is something that I'm not sure about, but I think they didn't even have playtesters before. I know they did. They're a big company, but it felt like they didn't. So if it's the same playtesters, we might be in trouble. If they got new playtesters, maybe we're not in trouble. But so that's one of the biggest things that I did want to at least show you guys. It also looks like DMG answered a few other questions. He said to answer a few questions, the weapon retains the recoil and animation of a 180 RPM precision hand cannon. Okay, so it retains the recoil and animation. The change to Magnificent Howl prevents 2-tap kills. Example, players could get 2 headshots on one enemy to proc Magnificent Howl and then defeat another in just 2 headshots. That was pretty annoying. I didn't like that. So that's another thing. So basically, hopefully this clears up a lot of the questions so far about what's going on with Luna's Howl and what's going on with Not Forgotten. As DMG said, we'll be watching feedback as it comes in, and once the changes go live in Season of Opulence. Cheers to all for chiming in with thoughts. Keep asking questions, and we'll answer where we can. So with that, guys, I want you guys to keep being active. Go blow up the forums, go blow up Twitter with positive, or not positive, but just respectful criticism so that they can give you feedback. Because if we jump in super negative, we're not going to get anywhere. So try to be professional and give your opinions, and also do that in the comment box below. I'll give you guys my opinions there too. We can kind of debate about what's good about this, what's bad about this, and is this unfair to the people that have these weapons. That's really all I have for you guys. If you did enjoy this video, hit that like button. If you're new, go ahead and subscribe. Let me know if you guys are going to watch Avengers tonight too. Hope you guys are. I'm excited. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys on the next Destiny video. Thanks, I love you guys.
My feast is equipped, they shots to the lip. Take out the coin, then I flip. Pull out the thorn, then it's ripped. Dragon tattooed on my hip, invading like my name is Zim. Dunking these moves like a rim. Yes, I am harder than Shin, making you pay for your sins. The drift of the 9, yeah, I'm rolling with them.
No, I'm not fine, I feel incredible. No, I'm not regular, stand on a pedestal. Joker's wild when he's off of his medicine. For my squad, I go hard like an animal. Body guns, got your head on the reticle, no trust. You need to go level a man down, but no, I'm not giving up. I think that I said